right, we're calling to order the meeting of the Village of Sandalwood Lake South Homeowners Association for February the 21st, 2019. Roll call, Mary Lou Barnes.
Present.
Randall Anderson.
Here.
Larry Rocco's here. Michelle Murray.
Here in spirit.
Natalia Franklin.
Here.
Okay, and of course, Rebecca resigned from the board, and Joe has family commitments today.
Did she
so.
send a formal resignation letter? Has she?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
Was she elected or did she join later? I forgot.
We appointed her.
We appointed her. So
She was
she
appointed.
is not under the same rules as we were who were elected. So I'm not even sure
Maybe
that's,
what?
Yes,
well,
she is.
She is, sure. She
No,
was
no,
a board
to
member
write
just like
it?
everybody else.
Yes.
to write a resignation letter
It
or
was-
verbally give it?
It's the same rules, whatever, if she was elected or appointed, it's the same.
Oh, that was not the way I interpreted the document.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, it's-
I thought a verbal would be sufficient.
Either way, I was
All
just
right.
curious.
We'll
Yeah.
move on. Verification of the posting of the meeting, David?
Yes, it was posted on February 7th on the bulletin boards and the website, and
Okay. And anybody like to make a motion on approval of the minutes from the January 17th meeting?
I will motion to approve as submitted. And who, before
haven't
we go
even
any
seen
further?
it.
Yeah. Who's taking,
What happened to Denise?
They were sent in the board package. But anyhow,
Denise?
Denise at the last minute declined. She came to her senses. She sobered up.
Natalia is recording the meeting, so we're just going to need to give her recording to somebody who can type it up. And that's not me.
That's not me either.
No, I know that. Maybe
All right.
maybe Larry would volunteer.
No, like Larry doesn't
Or
know
Joe.
what to do.
How about
How about
Joe?
someone that doesn't already
How
have
about Joe who's retired?
maybe Joe.
Who's retired and has a computer at home
Right.
and a cell
Well, I'll
phone.
certainly ask him.
Yeah, he could just take Natalia's, the recording of it and
Right.
figure it
Okay.
out. He's been on the board long enough to
All right,
figure
well,
it
I'll
out.
second the motion to approve the minutes. I read them. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. All right, now we have a guest speaker this evening from Campany Roofing, Mr. Rodriguez. Rodriguez?
Yes, Rodriguez, Renee Rodriguez.
Okay. So we're going to postpone our reports until
That's
he
absolutely fine.
finishes with his. So you have the floor.
I brought copies of the maintenance contract, that proposal that they submitted. Do you guys want to see it while he talks?
Sure.
Yeah.
That's what, 'cause I know I've sent them to you guys before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks better now. Larry,
Do you have one?
more.
One for me.
I did.
You cut? Oh, okay. Thank you. I thought I might have it here with some stuff I brought, but these are cut above and blah, blah, blah.
Should have been with the, actually,
Oh, the new ones tonight?
no, not in the new ones.
The old-
Should have been with
yeah.
the,
You know, we've been concentrating so on the others.
right there.
Campany, I have it, so I don't waste paper. I thought I brought it.
Okay.
So I was asked to come and basically explain the roof maintenance program. As you know, we've been servicing your roofs for a while. It's very active within the community, especially when we get the heavy rains. The roofs aren't in the best conditions, so it's just a matter of time. Does anyone or understand the concept of roof maintenance?
Vaguely, but why don't you just enlighten us?
So I'll share with you. It's as simple as your car maintenance or any other maintenance program that you have. It's the same thing as when you rotate your tires and change your oils. The reason why we all do it is because it extends the longevity of your item, let's say to speak. When you have a new roof, it's per requirement of the manufacturer and the roofer that you must maintain your roof to maintain your warranty. If you don't maintain your roof, you come out of your warranty, and then you lose the longevity of your roof. It's proven through fact checking that 60% is the number that the longevity of your roof as far as length. It will last about 60% long based on if you maintain it. What does maintenance mean? Means it's cleaning the roof, cleaning debris, addressing more proacting versus reacting. Right now, Sandalwood is purely reacting. It rains, the leak comes, we get called, we come out. What this would do is it's offer a maintenance program. We're very intimate with the roofs. We know exactly why the roofs leak and where they leak from. So most of your leaks are coming from the edge metals.
Right.
So what we put together in this maintenance agreement, and it's priced really aggressive. It's $240 per roof. You have 131 roofs in total, I believe.
Is that annually? Or every 6 months or?
That's your choice. That's your option.
Okay.
You can do it biannually
Okay.
or annually. It's up to you.
Okay.
Ideally, it's 2 men, 2 hours, so an average of 4 hours per roof. We're going to concentrate on the edge metals as far as anything that needs to be taken care of there that's easily identifiable. And then we're going to go ahead and hit any other items, whether it's a pitch pan from the ACs or your stacks or your vents that need to be addressed. Anything above that 4 hours would be a billable rate as it would be a regular repair. The concept of this is it's front-end loaded. So when you maintain or when you address the roofs from the beginning, being that they've never been maintained, it's going to be more time-consuming, more costly for the association. But as we continuously maintain the roofs and continuously clean, take care of them, it should be the biggest piece is less leak calls, because we're going to see things prior and we're going to be more proactive than reactive. The other bonus, and this is actually kind of, I don't want to say hurts company, but puts you in a more advantaged position, is that you become part of our golden umbrella. What does that mean? That means your labor rate goes down by 20%. Right now we're at a 105 labor rate, you go to $85 labor rate. Also, you become part of our Golden Umbrella VIP program, which means, as God forbid a hurricane comes, you have 131 roofs underneath our umbrella and there's a major leak. Well, we are going to address our Golden Umbrella customers first before we address anybody else that calls us. That's another advantage. And the biggest advantage I like to see is insurance-wise. So what happens is, God forbid a hurricane comes through. The first thing the insurance company is going to say, okay, show me your records that you've been maintaining your roofs. I don't think we have any records here. So what happens is they say, okay, we're going to give you X amount of dollars for the roof. Well, the roof's worth X amount of dollars. Well, you haven't proven to me that you maintain your roof, that your roof is in good standing. You got no documentation, so guess what? How are you going to dispute that? You can't. And that was learned about 5 hurricanes ago when the insurance company says, you know what, it's a little more cost effective for us to fight it and let them prove to us that they're owed the money or they maintain the roof. So how it looks for us is we come in, we do our report, and we provide you a book. The book shows all the deficiencies on each roof. Once we come in and do the work, we provide you a closeout book, which is the green book. That green book shows all the work that is completed on each building, and it comes with a disc as well. So that holds as far as to your filing cabinet. God forbid something happens. Oh, absolutely. Main company's been out here every year. This is what they did. It's an A standing in the roof. We need full value for the replacement of the roof. So that's pretty much the nuts and bolts. It's a really simplistic program. Same concept as any maintenance program, and the concept behind it is to extend the longevity of your roofs.
So you're saying $240 per roof, and you're saying it's up to us whether it's once a month, twice a year, once a year,
biannually or annually.
it's up to us, but it's $240 per roof
Each time. So the agreement,
each time.
the
right.
agreement as standing as we propose is once a year right now,
Right.
and we break it down to cost per roof, which is $240. Is how to
Correct.
accumulate to the total value.
And how long does it take to say the first run? You know how it's all front loaded, like you say, there's a lot of work at the beginning, and then it gets easier and easier as time goes on, the more times that you're out there, maintaining it each time or each year. How long does it take to actually get 131 up and in good shape?
Well, here's my answer to that. We're 200 employees. We're right up the street as well. So I don't know the plan of attack as far as how we would attack it. That's more of a production. If we get to the stage of say, hey, we're ready to move forward, we'll put together a plan and how to attack that. We did figure out 2 guys, 2 hours, which a total of
4 man hours.
4 man hours per roof. So we would go ahead and figure it that way. I mean, we could throw 50 guys on there, easy.
Yeah, but I would imagine it would be a rotating program where you would start and do so many a month and just...
No, you do them biannually or annually, right? Isn't that
Talking about 131.
well, that's how we used to do it. I think
Well,
That's how they were always
I
done.
see what you're asking.
Yeah,
So let's
yeah.
say we got 131 and we're gonna do, I'd throw a number out, 10 a month, right? Or 10 a week, or however you wanna break it down. That rotation of that 10, its annual starts the next year. That
Right,
Yeah, right.
it's still gonna be done
Correct.
annually, it's just
Correct.
gonna be done
It could
in
be done-
February instead of December.
It
or
could be
whatever.
done by phase also. We could do phase 1, 2, 3, 4.
And we could come to that agreement.
Yeah.
I mean, what you feel fits best for
Instead
the
of jumping
community,
around.
we could fit into that. And-
Well, they would probably start at one end and work their way
But that's
to the
not
other.
necessarily phase 1, 2, 3, and 4, because 50 and 51st is phase 4, but a lot of people
Right.
start doing up at the
Yeah,
lake
yeah.
in the 60s.
That's a
And that's an
possibility.
older neighborhood, so keep it to the phases, and then you know that 4 times a year
The
they're going to...
phases have nothing to do with that. These roofs are new. How long ago?
2006,
Right, they were,
So-
and,
13 years ago.
No,
So
but-
that has
but
nothing to
hold
do
on
with
a-
the phases.
well, no, we're saying
all
for
new roofs.
maintenance, we could do it by phase, so that...
Well, let's not worry about how we're
no,
gonna do
we'll,
it right now.
we'll
Let's let
address that when the time
Right,
comes,
when we
but
decide
May
what we're gonna
I,
do.
may I ask a question?
I have one question that I
Yeah.
have in mind before I forget.
Sure.
My concern, am I wrong in saying that these edges that we're having all the problems with were not put on properly?
That's hard to say.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. You guys haven't maintained your roofs in 13 years, is that what we're...
That's not true.
understanding?
That, I'm
No, no,
sorry, I served on the
They
board.
repair it.
He's
They
asking,
repair it.
he's not accusing.
No, but
Just-
I'm saying I
Yes.
served on the board 2010, 11, 12, 13. We maintained the roofs, we had them cleaned annually. If it wasn't by Campany, it was by somebody else. I just no longer have those records, and CAMS doesn't have them, or you may have them in storage somewhere that we have
So
to pay for.
even based on those facts, you said since 2013.
I would say since 15, we know they have not been done, because Tennyson didn't do them,
Oh, no.
and we haven't done them.
My roof
So-
was repaired.
so
I
there's-
do not know. Some people has.
Well, no, we're talking about, that's one-on-one when there's an emergency, but as far as yearly maintenance, to the
No,
best
we
of my knowledge, we haven't done it since 14 maybe, when Sally was running the place.
So let's call it 5 years.
Yeah, I would say 5
But we're
years.
cleaning the pipes. What is all
This
this
is, well, he can
broken?
tell you exactly what
So,
cleaning.
the 240 entails what?
Yeah, right.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna come in
Exactly.
and,
Well, and we
or
broke
is
it
that
down.
just the inspection?
We broke down in the proposal, and if you look at on page 3, and you look at in the box, close to the bottom, 2 man-hours will be concentrated on working on the edge metal flashing where most of the leaks have been occurring.
Yeah, the flashing.
Any time left over will be dedicated to cleaning of drains, coating, or drain sumps, removal of light foliage growth. Also, any variation of the above may occur within the allotted time. Anything beyond that will be separate proposal for work.
It means we're paying 240, and on top of that, we're paying 135 per hour, right?
No.
No, that's all included.
All included.
Okay. Now, we recently, with regard to our insurance, we were informed by our insurance company because of the maintenance, blah, 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 blah. We had to get somebody out there and inspect the roofs and then report back to the insurance company so that we could be in compliance. Does this satisfy that requirement?
Absolutely. It
Okay.
actually satisfies it to a point that, hey, we just looked at all the roofs and cleaned and maintained and properly took care of what needed to be
Okay,
done.
so that would protect us should we have a hurricane, they can't come back now and say, well, the roofs are old and they haven't been taken care of.
If you have the report.
We have that, okay.
Yeah, just think how many times Campany's been on property,
Right.
on a roof in the
Right.
past 2 years alone.
Right.
That's
Okay.
maintaining them.
Too bad we didn't have, too bad we didn't have them pressure clean then.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. The pressure cleaning part is dangerous.
Right.
When you have the wrong person out there, too much PSIs.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, but I told I saw how. Yeah.
But it's just like with the fences,
Exactly
you can
like
only
so-
use so
Right.
much
Nobody
PSI.
goes up on those roofs without association permission. So,
That's right.
we don't get
Nobody's
anybody up there.
supposed to.
Yeah.
Right.
It happens.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
Yeah,
And those people
I've
should be,
seen it happen.
should be fined
Kathy
if it's.
Mims
they should be
doing
thrown off the
renovations
roof.
on this place over there.
But I was
Somebody
cleaning
was
the
up there,
roofs or
and that's
not?
remember I
Because
asked you, I said,
in
who's
sixth
up there?
grade,
Is that
it was cleaning
Somebody
flat
roofing
roof
was
too.
gonna
Yeah, but
doing
is that
something
Kathy
for us?
Mims?
No, but it's
Professional,
only
not just
his
any
guys that come
buddy
out
with a
here.
crush.
When you see them up on the roof, it's usually,
Yeah, it's-
I would say
yeah.
99.9% of the
Yeah.
time.
Well, I
it's
know
him.
people kind of freaked out when they saw people pressure washing up there a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And that was them.
Right.
we
As
had
long,
asked
well, your
them-
trucks say Campany, don't
Yeah,
they?
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
they're,
No brainer.
Yeah.
and we've been doing a lot of, it's leaking over Larry's unit. Do a work order to fix Larry's unit. Not to clean the whole roof and look at the whole roof at that time.
Right,
You've noticed the last few invoices have been a little heftier than,
Right.
because we're doing that now.
because now I'm telling them
Right,
to go up.
right.
This is where the leak is, clean the roof, check the whole roof.
Check all the
You were
flashing,
saying-
not just Larry's
Yeah,
flashing.
You're
Right.
check
cleaning
all
the roof,
Right.
right?
We were, what it is.
66 way,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Very good job.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it wouldn't be a bad idea then to start with the roofs that have had issues and go up there and you know, make
Yeah.
sure those are
It's-
not all in
What to tie in what
Yeah.
this gentleman was saying, and kind of what you were saying too, is
Yes.
when we mobilize, we don't, it won't be efficient for us to mobilize and
Jump
do it
around.
here.
Oh, right.
We
That's
wanna
why I said,
mobilize
Yeah,
in
start the
areas.
area.
section by section by section.
Yeah, it's more
That's
time.
why I said phase 1, 2, 3, 4.
more time efficient.
Because then he can be given specific streets for phase 1, specific phase
Yeah, you
2.
can start on 50th Way and work your way up to 68th.
Or start the other way and work, whatever. But phase 4 is the oldest, I mean the newest, so maybe concentrate on
They
the
already
older.
working on 66 way. They were just.
Well,
Because
they've
they're-
worked all
because there
over.
are
They've
problems.
been everywhere.
They're doing
Yeah,
repairs.
they've been
tell you,
working all
They're
over.
not doing.
If you look at the monthly financials and the bills we pay to Campany, you'll see what street they were on,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
they worked. It's all over the place, all over.
Yeah, he's very specific on his invoices
Okay.
and
Yes,
proposals.
thank you.
so.
Yeah, that's good.
So,
All right, so
Okay, what you suggest?
it's, I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer. We should get this done.
Going forward.
And,
All right, may I ask the
it's gonna-
treasurer, do we have money set
I
aside for
haven't
roof?
even had the time to.
I know. I'm
look
guessing
at
it would
this
be under
point.
roof repairs, under maintenance, and then under reserves if we had to.
Yeah,
Yeah, I,
just to
again,
give you guys something to think about.
Yeah.
We got, you've seen the two proposals from the inspectors,
right.
correct?
Yes,
$26,000 just to have it inspected and a report done.
Yeah,
Right.
well,
Oh
no,
my God.
we're gonna go with
50.
the people that take care of us.
50-some
Yeah,
thousand
yeah.
to do
yeah,
a report
Oh
of
my God.
inspection.
yeah.
And they're gonna charge us 31.
23 or something, I saw it, 31.
Why we just do
31,000
maintenance? We
to
do
do-
maintenance,
to-
why we need to
To
pay
do
for
the
inspection? right?
inspection and the work.
yeah,
But
right.
if we,
If they do maintenance,
we
they can
had
tell us.
Campany starting on this program, then we don't even need an inspection.
No,
Exactly.
no, that's
Correct.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what Renee
that's
just
what
said.
said.
Start
Renee
on the maintenance
said,
program,
we're
get it
covered.
started,
Yep,
and then,
and then we're covered for the.
yeah, Renee just said we're
Your book's
covered.
gonna satisfy your
Yeah.
insurance company.
Yeah.
When you turn the book over to the insurance company, they say, okay, your roof's are maintained and this is what we do.
And then.
Just give them a list of what he's done already
Yeah,
and what we're
exactly.
doing next, and we're working on
but
it.
I still, don't know if I had an answer or not. What, so how long do you think it would take to get 131 up and going, like, on a nice
If it takes
little,
four, right, if it
smooth
takes
little-
4, it was probably whatever we, however fast we want it done.
How we contract for
Not
it.
In some ways.
He's gotta have men available.
Yeah.
Right,
It's a combination of, okay, when are we doing it? And what does my production look at that time in that moment? And then as far as how we're gonna break it up. So when we're talking phases, how many in each phase? So I like the idea of phase, just, real quick. So if I got 4 phases, then I wouldn't wanna get a site map. And then within that site
Yeah.
map, here's the phases, here's how many homes.
Well, you'd have the building numbers by phase.
And with that information, now we could go ahead and put together our game plan on how we would attack each phase.
Well,
And I
divide 524 by 4 and you're in the, well, no, 131 buildings by 4 and you're
By
in
4,
the
so it's
general,
pretty
you're
much
in the
equally
general
distributed.
neighborhood. Right, right. Yeah.
David, did you look for the site map?
I have one, I thought I gave
The,
you one. Didn't I give you
no,
one
I
when
already-
you first?
Well, I mean, I have the big one. that
So
would-
do I, and I
Yeah.
also have a small one, but not with me tonight, sorry to say.
I didn't find the one that
What's
lists
the,
how many
Michelle,
square footage of.
what's the time frame that the insurance company?
I
wants
may-
to
that's what,
see?
that's what I would, it was within, wasn't it within 30 days that we had to tell them we were working on it?
They wanted an answer by March.
Oh, so we have an answer for
So-
An
it.
answer,
Yeah,
they didn't
not-
want to know that it was done, but
Yeah.
just that we were addressing the
Yeah,
situation.
Yeah, not a report,
Here's-
but just the fact that we're doing
Right,
something.
right.
Here's
A
my
response.
suggestion as well.
Here, let,
Is
Okay.
to get this done prior to the rainy season.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
oh, of course,
Well, we need to do as soon as possible.
of course, and prior to hurricanes.
Yes.
Well, I mean, that's what I keep asking, how long do you think it would take? I mean, I'm looking at a pretty extended period
Well,
of
you
time.
divided
We have
131
32
buildings.
homes is what I did, 33.
33 buildings per
33
phase
per phase.
approximately.
So if you're looking at 4 hours per 128 hours is what I calculated per phase.
Okay, so 40 hours a week? So three
We-
weeks
we
to do a
work-
phase?
We work more than 40, we work like 60.
Oh, you'll do 60, well then all the better,
2
we've done
weeks.
even 2 weeks.
I've been up since 4 this morning.
Why then?
Oh, good.
My owner's at the office at 2 in the morning. And we work Saturdays.
I'm not a roofer.
Okay,
Oh
did
my
you
God.
find money?
No, you can't work Saturdays, bro. I'm telling you that right now.
No, not Saturdays on our property, you'll be in deep doo-doo.
All right, well,
Sunday if you
So,
like.
we know what we need to do. We've got a very good proposal.
so we will
So
discuss it and
we need to
let
come.
Renee go home and get some sleep.
I think we could vote on it right now,
I got a
frankly.
year
I-
old baby.
I-
There's not much
Oh, yeah.
I'm in favor of voting on it right now,
I am as
frankly.
well.
I too.
I am. I
All right,
mean,
I'm gonna
who's
make,
more
I'm
familiar
gonna
with the
make a
roofs?
motion that we vote on it right now. Does anybody second?
I second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye, aye, aye.
All right.
Aye.
Unanimous,
Oh,
5 to
five.
nothing.
Okay,
I said that
Very
for your,
good team.
for your,
all right, so
Michelle, we're
we'll
Well, it's
let you
cheaper.
get back to,
cheaper,
waiting
and
a
he
moment.
knows the deal.
I agree.
excuse me.
In some ways, yes, but no,
I
that's
want
fine.
Mr. Rodriguez to get back to David with the details,
Okay,
and then we'll know where we're headed.
absolutely. I
Good.
appreciate your time.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
do we need anything from you for the insurance company stating that we,
Well, reach out to your insurance company, and if they need something from us, ask exactly what they need, and we'll provide it.
Okay.
You know, if they need something on letterhead that, well, actually, the agreement. The
Yeah.
agreement should suffice,
Yeah.
that you made a commitment, you're moving forward.
Yeah, Cam just has to present a list of all the buildings that have been worked on.
No, but even contract.
Yeah, but I mean,
It's a lot.
that'll answer the insurance company.
All right, guys, have a great evening.
All right,
Thank you.
thank
all
you.
right, thank
Renee,
you.
thank you.
Okay, good.
Oh,
Now you need to find
done.
money.
I mean,
You need to find money for that.
Oh, I need, well, we
No,
have,
but the thing
again, I
is
didn't
that-
want to say, I don't want to talk about our personal business
yeah,
in front
yeah.
of,
but
that's why I would
nobody,
have rather
nobody
not
knows
had
our
a bid.
roofs.
I did not want
well,
to,
but we gotta get moving.
I know,
so
but
it's-
No one
it's
knows
kinda
our
like a
roofs better
no-brainer
than
here.
he
well,
does,
I
they
realize
do.
that,
so-
but I don't want to sit there and open up my financial information.
Oh,
to
no,
them,
no,
yes.
absolutely not.
Which I would have liked to have
We'll-
discussed a little bit of this, but that's all right.
We'll find a way to make it
Yeah,
work.
Well,
so,
no, I already looked at what we have in reserves. I already looked while you were all
Okay,
talking.
guys, what next? Okay,
Okay,
well, I know what we have in reserves too. so-
Plus operations, yeah.
President report.
Or maintenance
okay,
report,
so
yeah.
what I have to report on is the same old, same old. We have a unit where there's a renter with 2 German Shepherds. I think I brought this to the board's attention last month, where supposedly when they signed their rental agreement, they had no pets. Turns out they have 2 German Shepherds, and then they lied again and said one belonged to a friend of theirs that was visiting, and, well, 4:20 Tuesday morning, she was out with the dogs, not even on a leash. And a neighbor came out with small dogs, and the dog came charging, she slammed her gate shut. So I immediately got a hold of Ross and turned all this information over, and he's in the process of seeing what we can do to get him out. The other thing is, I got as you'll see on Ross's report, there's a unit number here on 62nd Way that we're going to start foreclosure proceedings on.
What's the number?
I'm not supposed to say the number, but it's the same guy that we,
You can't say a name or a number here. That's board business.
it's the same guy that was giving us all the problems with selling cars out of his unit. Anyhow, he's
Exactly.
65,000
Information.
behind, and we can't let these things run into the
Yeah.
65?
6,500, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I was gonna say, how do you
Yeah,
get?
no, we can't let it run, we can't let it run up.
we have to stop.
This is not
yeah.
Lost Tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we can't have them get to those kind of numbers.
Right.
So we're going to file the foreclosure proceedings on that particular unit.
Okay.
And other than that, I don't have anything else to report.
That was on Rawson's report that we got today, David, from
It's,
you?
the unit
Yeah,
number's on there,
Yeah,
yes.
I'll give
it's
you-
on there. Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry I sent that bad report again. I know I have to download it directly to you guys because it doesn't print.
Exactly.
So,
Okay, so now, Michelle, you can give the treasure.
Okay, January balance, you got the last month's treasurer report that I sent to you?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
While I'm thinking of it, did I give you that last, I did give you that other form? Yes, okay. Okay, January 2019 balance, our total assets are $1,319,728.96, which is a decrease of $121,959 from last month. Our total receivables owing is $167,747.95. This represents a slight increase of $528.37, which is really, we're holding pretty steady, and I agree that it's a good idea to go after people sooner than later and get any of those discrepancies taken care of. To date, our total cash reserves are $556,000 and change, which is an increase of about $90,000 and change from last month. Now, I do want to talk to Jennifer, and I have not gotten a hold of her yet, because as much money as we're spending out of our reserves, it's kind of interesting that there's more money in there than there was before we spent all that money. But I think what's happening is there were a lot of dollars that she took out of operating. Out of it, and now then she had to take those dollars that we paid and put them back in reserve. So I think we're seeing that here, but I will definitely double check with her.
Because, Michelle, no one, including Jennifer, no one is allowed to take money out of reserves
No.
without the vote of the board.
No, for reserve items,
Well,
Wait,
no, but
take a
I'm
step
saying,
back. No.
yeah.
we are supposed to be paying money out of the reserves for the fences and several other
Which
things.
we voted on.
Well, right, which we voted on.
Right.
What happened was, rather than using the reserve account to pay for those expenses, Jennifer paid out of the operating
Which decreased
account,
the operating.
so she had to take the money from the operating account, or she had to put the money back into the reserves rather than,
Right.
or she had to take the money.
She
you know
took
what I
it
mean.
out of reserves,
Yeah.
but had to put it back.
So it's
Yeah, I gotcha.
convoluted, but I will talk to her about it to make sure that we are.
Well, be sure
both
she
on
understands the
same-
rules.
Oh,
Yeah.
She's an accountant, she understands.
No, you'd be
Well,
amazed.
She does know, I promise. She
Okay, but she's the
understands.
fourth,
But she
you may not know this,
understands what
David,
the
she's the
reserves.
fourth person we've had since we joined CAMS, the fourth that I know of,
Yeah.
acting,
She's
doing
only, she's only the
financials.
second in the 3 years that I've been here.
No, third.
No, there was Linda before her, that I worked with Linda.
Yeah, and then before
As a
her
treasurer.
was the other one.
I didn't work with anybody other than Linda, and then I worked with Jennifer.
Oh, no, there was one in
Well, it was
the
before
beginning.
my time, so let's not argue
Well,
about it.
it's
16.
Okay. Over the next month, let's see, in January, we transferred $100,000 from a checking account at SunTrust that we were getting 0.45 on, and we put it into a higher yield short-term CD at 1.75%. And David, if you will, please note that that short-term CD expires on April 16th, and I'm also going to ask Jennifer to add that right to the line entry on the
When does it
financials.
expire?
April 16th. So what we need to do is get in there. They'll send a letter, but they'll send it so late that you can't do anything. So we want to get in there, because what they'll do, they'll roll it over into an account that makes absolutely nothing.
Oh.
So what we want to do is get that in there, bring it, either have them renew it at a higher rate, which by then, who knows, it could be a lot higher, or take it to another lending institution where it will be considered new money. Like I said, the only thing I had planned over the next weeks is to get with you, Jennifer, and I really want to do a spreadsheet on the lighting. I want to do a spreadsheet on the fencing and whatever other things we have going so that we know how many, exactly where everything stands, so we have a clear picture of what we bought, what we spent, and where else we need to be spending it. And
Okay.
David has generously offered to help with that as well as Jennifer. That's it.
Okay. David?
Questions?
Well,
I'm
yeah, no, yeah, go ahead.
Treasurer's questions?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Aren't we supposed to be aware as a board of any time there's a major sum of money? I'm not talking about your Sun Trust, too, I understand that.
Because we already voted on that. by the
Yes,
way.
exactly. But what I'm talking about is the fence, and now we're talking about Campany roof. We really need to be very aware of, as a board, of every detail of how sums of money like that are being moved around. And to wait 31 days and then get the financials 2 weeks after that, we're not informed of it. I mean, I'm hearing things tonight I didn't know.
Well, no, it's just like anything else. It's like if we decide we're going to spend $31,000 on trees, right?
Right.
Then that reserve account that says trees, right?
Well, not necessarily, because in operating, we have trees. So why aren't we using operating
Well, you're
first?
confusing the issue. There's trees in operating, but those, if they're operating
We're cutting them
dollars,
down.
they're operating dollars.
Right, but they
You
come
know,
out of
you're
operations.
talking about, right, but you're confusing
We're
the
talking
issue.
maybe
You're-
like
You're talking
tree
about
trimming,
reserves.
like tree trimming
Right,
versus
well,
tree removal.
there are day-to-day expenses that, you know, certain items, landscaping, blah, 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 that are operational expenses.
Okay,
These other items, you have special accounts, they're reserve accounts.
I know.
So in other words, well, you know, I'm telling you what.
I'm the one
trying
that
to
reads the
answer-
financials page.
Well, you know
of
what,
every-
why don't you be treasurer?
No, I don't want to be treasurer. I just simply want to be here to
I know.
ask questions
Well,
when it doesn't
well, I'm trying to
compute.
answer.
Or-
Okay, let's
All
back
right,
up again.
Okay.
There are two separate things here. There's operating and there are reserves.
Well, let me ask you a quick question and then I'll be satisfied. We're about to cut down and replant 18 or 19 trees.
Mm-hmm.
You taking that out of operating or out of reserves?
If it is a reserve expense, it's coming out of reserves.
But it has been an ongoing operating discussion for 2 years.
Well, it can come out of
Because the
operating.
money's in operating.
It can-
When we did the budget, we have enough money in operating under the tree category that
Right.
that job
It-
could
I
be
think,
done.
I think
It
I'm
can
catching
come-
what Mary Lou's saying.
it can
She's
come
saying
from
when we
either.
do that, before we do it, let's vote and see.
Well, no, but I'm also going to take it one step farther. We are not allowed to use reserves unless it's for a community-wide project. Fences
Well,
are
exactly.
community-wide.
Well, removing
Taking
18
18 trees
trees
down on 5 streets is not a community-wide project. So to
Well,
me,
it
that
depends.
should come out of operating.
Well, it can come.
I'm only saying
Well,
you're
I'm just
doing
saying,
by the book.
I'm just saying that it really depends. You know, you can say that the reserves are for taking down the trees that are in the reserve account. It's not that, it's the same thing, Mary Lou. The only difference is, it's our money regardless. It's our money.
No, but we funded the
Yeah, but-
reserve
but-
since
guys,
2015,
Let's go
so that
for-
when we decided to really do a major project like we are now with the fences, we are entitled, we are legally allowed to remove that money for fences from reserves. We are not legally allowed to remove money from reserves for 18 trees that are scattered on 5 or 6 streets.
It
All
probably
right,
depends.
so you
No,
could be,
it's
just to
not.
be
Read
the
the
devil's,
documents.
just to be
Well-
the devil's advocate then, the roofing, $240 per roof.
Yeah.
Is that gonna come out
That's
of
a
reserves?
community-wide project. We can vote on it to be taken out of reserves. Yes, we can.
Well, you don't think those trees are part of the community?
They have to be involved every way. We have 131
Well,
buildings.
when
It has to involve all of them.
When those things
No,
come
the
up, we'll discuss
contract
it.
we signed for 18 trees that
Right.
we've agreed
Okay,
to
guys.
do.
Well, the concrete that's being destroyed is community-wide.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I want to ask a quick question. David, I have a notice in my gate tonight, scotch taped to my brand-new painted fence gate, that I'm to have my cars moved before 9 a.m. tomorrow for a project being done.
They're gonna be pressure washing.
Why wasn't I told? I serve on the board of directors. I had no knowledge that you were going to be doing that. I got that at 6 o'clock tonight when I got home. And my neighbors said to me, Mary Lou, what are they doing tomorrow? I said, guys, I don't have a clue.
What happened?
Pressure washing. Edva just told me this afternoon.
But
that
it
he's
doesn't
gonna
say
do
pressure washing. It just says move your car before 9 a.m. tomorrow, the 22nd. There's no explanation.
Should have been an edict.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and not only that, let me just jump in quickly on this because it's money again. The point is this, that prior to Christmas, they were doing the north end of 51st and stopped over the Christmas break. Why are they now starting tomorrow on the south end when everything north of me hasn't been done yet? I'm the last section on 51st, the southernmost. Why isn't he starting at the north end to work his way down? And then when he finishes me, he goes to 50th because the boys will be done with 50th, which is behind me. I don't get it. He should be starting on the north end.
Are they done on your way?
No.
They haven't started.
No, the fences are done.
I know that,
Right.
which I questioned why on earth they were doing this. When I jumped in, starting to help Mark back in December,
Yeah.
we're on 51st, right? Well, they were
They
pressure
started
pressure cleaning on 50th. Why, I have no idea, because we're coming that way.
Right.
And after I get done pressure washing a fence, I gotta rinse all the mud and dirt that, out to the street. Makes a mess. I get it beyond the striping, beyond the parking spaces, so that's as far as I go. But it makes a mess because it'll dry up.
But do
and
you
it gets
agree with
dirty.
me? They should start at the other
Right, so
end of
they should really,
51st
just so you know, they should start where areas that have been done already.
for 2 months. What do you think about it?
Because I questioned, I didn't say anything, but I just wondering, like, what the heck are they doing down there when we're heading that way?
Right.
When 25 fences, 30 fences have already been done, they could have started on the very beginning where Mark.
Well, logically finish where they
and
dropped
then
off
clean up,
before Christmas.
David, why don't you send Edva a text tonight? Let him know not to do that tomorrow. Just
Well, now it's done over there. So
No,
now
no,
it's
with
now
my
it's a
street,
moot,
no,
now it's a
no,
moot
but they're
point.
talking about start.
That's
Yeah, now it's a
the
moot
reason
point.
they're doing over there.
Right.
Edva
Oh.
does the parking lots. He starts in one area and he goes through the whole community.
But he
And
didn't
then
on
he-
51st.
Then he comes back and does again. He started in 51st Way.
The north end of
because
it.
that's where he was scheduled to start.
Because that's where the fences start.
But that's when, stop interrupting me, please.
I'm sorry.
That's just aggravating as hell.
He started at
Said
51st. He started at 51st.
Because that's what, he's creature habit. That's where he was scheduled to start. The fences were happening, we stopped him.
For
Don't-
Christmas break.
Don't do around here because the fences are being done,
right.
wait till afterwards. So he went and started
50th.
wherever he went.
Well, he was at 50th. I
And
know
it-
that.
And I know right now, they were finishing up over at the other end.
Yeah.
And they're getting ready to come back around the 50th way.
Okay.
So
well,
we did stop them when they started pressure washing where the painting was going on, because that was silly.
Well, all I'm just trying to say is, like, kind of be logical about it. Like, tell them, like, listen, if these guys are heading this way for painting,
Yeah.
don't get in front of them. Wait till they're done and be
That's what-
behind
yeah,
them.
stay
Stay behind
behind
them.
them.
So
Yeah.
may I make a suggestion, Larry,
so-
that Edva take a look, walk to the north end of 51st, see the couple of streets or a couple of parking areas he did, or the part-timer did, because it was the part-timer doing it, before Christmas, and take up right there and come toward me. Don't leave all these dirty sidewalk, parking areas between me and where they left off at Christmas. Come down and meet me, and then the next building behind me is 50th, and the boys will be done, and they can move on to 50th as
Yeah.
the boys work south
Yeah,
on
send him a
50th.
text. That makes sense.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just tell him to go where he left off at Christmas time and then
Finish
head
it
toward
up. If you go and take a look, you'll see it's clear.
I know, but I don't know where he marked. I don't know if he tagged you from that point.
You can
towards
see
you.
it with your eyes.
Well, no, I don't know.
What's
if
dirty
he's
and what's
I
clean.
don't know if he's planning on starting. where
No,
he-
there's only four
Well,
notices.
just ask him. We
Okay.
can end this.
Sweetheart, there's only four notices on 4 gates. There are none in that building, or that building. There's just 4 on the gates that are in my parking area.
She's south.
And I'm in
51st
the last
Street
building
south.
in the
Where she
south,
is.
right.
All right.
So,
Well,
Okay.
just we'll take care of it.
Okay.
All right, let's.
I just
move on.
trying to save time and money. I mean,
All right, it makes sense.
Thank you,
No argument.
thank you.
All right, now, we got old business.
Managers report.
Oh, the manager's report, that's what we got. I'll let you speak. Uninterrupted, please.
Could I just say one quick thing? May I take,
Oh, boy, that's fast.
may I take the signs off the gates in
Can I
my,
shoot myself in the
tonight?
face?
When I get home, may I take the
I
signs
don't
off
care
the
what
four
you do with the
gates?
signs.
Well, may I? Because otherwise these people are
Yes,
going
yeah,
to be moving their
take the
cars.
signs off.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know why we put all this on the manager's report. It's all done before I get there. We're gonna jump right down to the grounds and maintenance. Fences, as everybody knows, we've had a lot of discussion. Everything is moving along nicely on 50th Way is done. 51st is done. 50th is moving along nicely. I spent the last 2 days, or 2 mornings, walking 80-some fences with Jeff, going through marking
Just Jeff?
everything when I can to keep David away and we can get it done quicker. But going through, marking it with blue tape, Larry saw where everything, and they're coming right behind me, or behind me and Jeff, and doing repairs. You don't want to go back and do any checks by you until I call you up and say, they're done. And if you want to go through and check any,
All I can say is they better be done.
but there's some
Not
that,
that they have to be done, but
Well-
if they're telling me they're done, they better be
yeah.
done.
Well,
that's-
Dave's
that's
gonna,
what-
he's gonna inspect it.
That's why.
Once they tell him they're done, he's gonna look at it,
Yeah.
and then he'll call you and say, okay, go look at
You
it.
know, but they're moving right along, doing a good job. I went back and looked at some of the ones we checked yesterday. They look, I didn't go through and do a good walkthrough, but they're hitting what randomly I saw. A few of the gates, I don't know how were locked. I don't know how you got into marked boards.
Because every time I go, they're always open.
Well, there's a couple that were locked. I mean, I'm marking down the ones that are locked where I can see where you've marked boards inside, so I can call the owners to let them know we got to get in, so they can get in and
Put a notice.
yeah. Well, some of them are empty.
Oh, well,
We're not jumping fences.
I've never been into a fence that wasn't open, obviously.
We know some of the fences, when it rains, they get wet,
No,
they don't open easily
they're locked.
either.
They're deadbolts.
Okay. Oh,
I mean, I know about
Well,
it.
I've gotten in many inside. Just I opened the thing and I looked.
I'm just saying, there's a couple that were locked that I've got written down that I've got to call
And
owners.
then you saw like paint marks on
Yeah,
the
I
inside.
can see the paint marks on the inside. You know, I check. You know, I'm tall enough, I can see over the
Yeah.
gates and everything. So, you know, I'm looking for everything. So, I'm hoping, best case scenario, that they can actually start making progress next week. I'll let you know.
Okay.
Jeff told me today that they're on schedule to be finished tomorrow.
No, they're not.
That's what he
Yeah,
said.
yeah.
Yeah.
Randall, are you going to speak up about
Yeah.
what you saw? Well, you had said to me something about some of the fences they've
Oh, we've
redone.
already been.
You've
We've all
been
been
through
through
that?
all that.
Oh,
We've
okay,
been-
okay. I just wondered if...
Randall and I are working together. We're on the same page.
I understand that,
I'm
but
just-
he and Natalia and I had a great chat the other night, and I
Yeah.
wondered if everybody knew about it.
And we're trying to get them to the quality of standards that we expect of them.
Right, as
You know,
compared to
and
Mark.
That's
Yeah,
where we're gonna be by the time they start making progress again.
And then,
as far as
Are
I'm
you gonna
concerned,
still
they
say
could
something
go
about this?
bye-bye. But
No, that's,
well, because it's, let me see, when they do finally
Right.
get to where they can paint a fence again,
yeah,
we've got to establish something that I don't know why it wasn't done before, but it can certainly be done now, is that when they go to pressure clean, I inspect it. Because I'm still not crazy about their pressure cleaning, what they said they did and looked. But anyway, inspect the pressure clean, but then when they paint a fence, that they don't get a check until it's
Until it's done.
inspected.
Yeah,
You know, they can do
I
5,
agree.
10, whatever, how many fences they hand in an invoice, say, we just painted 10
Yeah.
fences.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Before they get a check, we go check,
I
so
agree.
they don't
And
go
that's-
further
well-
without having this problem.
and we've already discussed that. And that's, you're gonna mark boards.
Right.
Do you wanna mark boards before or after they pressure clean?
After,
Well-
after better.
Honestly, I'd rather.
Mark them after, that way you can
because-
inspect the pressure.
Well,
After.
one point says.
This way I
before.
gotta go twice.
Yeah,
After
so-
exposes the worst.
Well, I agree,
Because
but at
after-
one time he had said before.
They
so-
can remove all marking
Yeah.
by wash, by pressure.
So, okay, that's fine.
I'd
We'll,
rather after.
Okay,
Because this way, well,
so
Yeah, one trip.
when we're ready, I'll have them pressure wash 1 or 2 buildings. You can cut through, mark top rails, boards need to be replaced, and approve the pressure washing. I'll approve it also. I want to,
you've seen my pressure washer.
I know,
my
I know,
pressure cleaner.
and I took them over there and showed them what
Yeah.
the board expects, the whole community expects. This quality of top of the top rails, the top of the gates, the top of the boards that go around the posts, right down to the ground, everything. So that's why I
You don't
took,
see one pressure cleaning mark on any of those fences.
that's why I
Not
took
one.
them over and I showed exactly what,
Not that the
we want
marks
to look
mean
like.
anything, not that the marks have anything to do with a good paint job, it just has to do with the technique that
I know.
they're just, like a 3-year-old was
Yeah.
playing with a hose,
yeah,
That's all.
they know what they're expected and I'm gonna inspect them before they move on.
And
And then,
How we just got them?
will there be consequences if they aren't up to par after all this? 'Cause,
well, they're not gonna be allowed to move on until they are,
Well, I mean, if
That's-
after, but they already understand what our issues have been with them.
yes.
As
and-
far as I'm concerned, if we've gone through all this,
Right.
and we gotta go back through and babysit them again, and they give them a chance to come back through, if they can't do this right this time, as far as I'm concerned.
They're gone.
And that's kind of like, I'm
I
all for
agree.
letting them,
Giving them a second chance.
trying to do the right thing. I'm all for that. But quite honestly, I don't feel, even if they finish what they're doing now, before they even start, they finish, okay, now we're ready to go. Okay, great. But I just don't trust that they can do it. That they know how to do it, because I know his mindset.
Or we're gonna give them a chance,
So,
and
but that's why I thought of today, I'm like, well, listen, it needs to be inspected before they even get a check.
Well, I agree,
type
and that's,
thing.
and I've
Well,
told,
this is what we do before we pay Jaworski. We don't just pay you guys until David looks at them and says
Yeah.
they're okay.
I know what Mark does, and
Yeah, that they.
I go see his
Very
stuff,
good.
and you went back over some of the stuff that we had questions about in the beginning, and you guys have done some repairs on the first ones that he did.
And Larry,
I'm still
I'm
kind
on
of
50 and
sneaking over
51st
there, doing
every
a couple.
day. Every day for at least a half hour. I said I'm on there every day for at least a half hour, looking at what Mark and
And
They,
Randall
they're-
are doing. They're doing a beautiful job.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're like building the fences. It's
and
amazing.
these guys can do a good job, and they will. Or,
And we do have a 30-day notice in our contract with them that we
There
can,
is no such thing, they don't
I
have
don't
to.
think
They don't
there's-
Yeah,
have
you just
to.
say
It's
you're
not
not
a
happy.
contract.
Right.
if they're not performing up to the standards that we
They're done.
expect, they've been given enough chance, you guys can tell them.
okay.
We are terminating the contract at this point.
The
You
only
guys are
reason
not
I ask
performing
that,
to the-
David, is that every contract that we have done in the past, there's been a 30-day walk away for us or them.
If it's an annual contract, this really isn't.
No,
this
the
is-
fence project, community-wide, should have a 30-day walk.
It does-
Bye-bye if you haven't lived up to our expectations.
even early because.
Well,
if
you
they
don't need it, you really don't
Don't need
need
30
it. All
days.
you have to do is tell them you're not paying
And
it.
guess what they'll
So
do?
they'll leave.
They'll take us to court, and then we'll have to
No,
pay
no,
the lawyer.
No.
There's
No,
nothing in that
it's-
contract that says we owe them anything.
Okay,
Nothing that says we
There's
owe.
no
They were
promise.
Only
paying
for
them
work performed.
Right,
Yes, okay.
exactly.
okay.
Okay,
Okay.
what else? Yeah. what-
Lighting project.
Aye.
Oh, that's what I was gonna ask you, go ahead.
I do believe the lighting project is completed. Ed is gonna do another drive-through when he does, or he comes in once a month and does a early morning dark check. He's gonna check the lights for me, and Michelle and I are gonna go through the
All the invoices.
invoices
Good.
and just see what we've been billed for and what.
Good, good.
Make sure,
To make sure
make
that-
sure we're all
I
reconciled.
want to report, yeah.
No,
it's
you know
light
what?
off on
The
building
last 2 or 3 months
107,
where we thought
face
all
to
was
the
done, and
canal.
then there was suddenly.
light it's off.
Well,
Building
there's other
107,
reasons for
107.
why we thought they were done and they weren't.
Face.
There's
so we're
lights
not-
out that people have the
Like I
switches
said,
turned
we're
off.
gonna trust but
No,
verify,
no, no,
right?
I'm talking about
was
the actual
all-
physical
uh-huh.
mounting of a new light. I'm not talking
In
about whether
another
it works or
building
not.
one,
I'm
building
talking
one,
about 4 new lights
face
on every
to the,
building, mounted, new light fixtures.
Right.
Camberwell.
Whether they work, that's problem B.
101.
Problem A is, have we bought and
Another
paid for all
101.
of them?
That's what
And that's what we
We're
need
we're
to
gonna
know.
look at.
101.
Thank you.
Building.
Good, 'cause
All
I've
we
been-
have to do is make sure we get paid for
yeah,
more
no,
than 524.
Building one.
Correct.
Building.
Building
Correct.
one, yeah.
Although one was
Building one
broken by
facing
One was,
to-
a
yeah.
resident
Over the-
that we
Right.
had
If
to
there are
replace,
repairs or
so, but
whatever.
one
There'll
or
be
two.
an
was
except,
broken.
or one could arrive broken shipped, you know, I mean, that's gonna happen, but
Okay.
not 25 of them.
Yes, Randall?
Regarding the lights, that, you know, the woman that came to the annual meeting and about that light, remember we were talking
Yes.
about it? Has that,
I'm trying to figure out.
because you told me that Edva had that light, this.
Oh, you're talking about the one on the,
On
okay.
56th? Is that still, I mean, because
Yeah, why can't we put that up for her?
remember we talked about
Yeah.
that we don't know why that's not getting power, da, 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 da.
Yeah,
Well,
the
and then
power
you
is
told me
off
that-
going
I'm
to
sitting there
the-
saying, take that one off of Michelle Booten's, you know, and she said, well, Edva did. That's her own light or something. And then,
Yeah,
the,
which-
and then the light you took off is in the shed or something like that?
Yeah, I forgot to look for that light.
Plus, why are we, I mean, I hate to say it, but that light looks like crap. Why are we letting her have that light like that? Is it just not connected to anything? Is that on a pole or something?
Yeah, she's got it on a pole, wire, electric run to it. Because her sidewalk wasn't,
Because she's,
Well, but now the light's on her building, right?
right.
So that has to
So,
come
so
down.
can we tell her
But he,
that, you
but
know,
he told me, you know, Dave told me
but
that.
you said there's another light.
Well, no, Dave, when I made the suggestion that this woman on 56th, who has a security light out, who came to you at the annual meeting, has been bugging us for a year, she said. And I just, to resolve that, I said, why don't we take the one off Michelle's, because she don't need it anymore,
Yeah.
and put it on hers till we find out what the situation is
Right.
with the light. You know,
Right.
why it's not getting power.
Yeah.
Because all the units are on.
Right.
It's not like
Right.
it's not like Michelle's situation where the one unit was vacant and had no power.
Right.
That's the reason why
Right.
the security light was out. That's the reason why
and-
she got that light
and-
installed.
And that light that was
Well, this is-
installed, didn't we pay for that?
Well, yes.
So, I mean, we should be able to remove it.
But well, this is what I'm getting at. That didn't you say that Michelle did something? That was her own
That's
light.
what Edva told me, was she had that one put in.
But
Is it
and then-
on her
but then you said that
patio
he
or
took
on the
off-
common
He
ground?
took off a
I
light
don't, I've gotta check.
and
with
then
her,
put
see
in
what-
the shed or
Yeah,
something.
gotta check.
Do you know
look into
what?
that.
And if that's the case, or I don't
We
know
can
the
move that
situation
light
there,
over.
but get that light that's in a shed and put it over to this lady's house so she doesn't, you know, so she has
Right.
something until we figure
Right.
out what's going
I
on
mean,
with this.
we went above and beyond for Michelle. I'm sure that we had an electrician over there rigging up some kind of electric to that other security light. So that was what we paid for, so technically it really isn't hers to.
Okay.
Well, I don't,
Well,
I
as far as I
don't know
know,
how,
I mean, we need
I
to,
don't
we
know.
need to, we need to
how.
look into that and
Okay.
figure that
Yeah,
out. 'Cause
and also, if she bought it, paid for it, and has it mounted on her patio, that's a little tricky.
Well, it may well be, but we may well have been the people that actually paid for the electric that goes to that light.
Yeah.
Which, you know.
Well,
which
if
she
it's
can-
plugged into her where her outdoor fixtures are, for example, if it's running into that electric, she's paying for it.
Well, right, but, well,
Yeah.
it
Not
was a
if it's-
very
not if it's
complicated
connected to that
situation.
security light, because that
Right.
belongs to the unit behind her.
That's
No,
right.
I'm talking about her fixtures.
But it was, it
I
was
don't
a
know
special
where the
situation
security
to
lights-
take
It's a
care
first,
of.
as far as I know.
But
it's a
it
first.
shouldn't, but it shouldn't,
So if you're facing it,
the
Every
way she
unit,
has it looks like crap.
the light, if you look at the light, it belongs to the unit to the left.
okay.
As you go around the building, every light is on the electric of the unit to the left.
I don't know how it's wired, but it would be good to
Well, that's
find
good to
out.
know.
And if
Well,
it's,
that I know for a fact.
no, I know that, but I'm talking about hers in
Because then I could
particular. I
possibly,
don't know what her
then I
power
could
source
possibly get
is.
an electrician into the other unit and find out why that line is dead.
Right, especially if
Somebody
there's
cut from
somebody-
inside,
then
maybe.
nobody's living in there, right?
Yeah, well, no, there's people living
no,
in
there
all
are.
four.
Four people that
Oh.
have, or live there and have
Okay.
power. They just don't understand why that light is
Right.
not getting juice.
Yeah, there's no power, electricians told me there's no power.
So a lot of times people remodel their kitchen, they don't know what that wire's for, and
Yeah, they cut
they cut it off and put
Exactly.
wire nuts on the end of it.
Exactly.
That could very well be.
Yes,
the case.
yes, this is.
That's what I'm saying, we have to investigate it to be sure that who's responsible and who's not.
It's something inside,
And
yeah.
she live in the front, on the Cumberland side or the
She
56
lives
side?
on the Cumberland side.
Right, okay, so like I said, if you're looking at that light, it's
It'd be
powered
the
to the
unit.
unit to the left.
Yeah.
So if somebody did anything in that unit, like he's saying possibly, that's why it's not getting
Okay.
done. I just want to make sure she gets, because I know she
Yeah,
seemed pretty
you are.
upset that night.
Right.
Yeah, and she's.
Well, and it's a hazard,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, it's a
I'm
safety
hoping we
issue.
get this painting thing under control so that I can spend a little more time with other things in there.
Yeah, but did you finish to ask the questions or not?
For what?
You finish
For
your
the
report?
lights?
No.
No, well,
Ah,
I had a little blurb about roofing, but I don't need to do that because we've discussed that.
yeah.
Right, right.
Ficus trees, we're gonna discuss that in the white fly treatment. We still, Mary Lou and I are gonna be working together with the landscaping. We've got to, the ficus hedges are the major draw for the white fly.
Yeah,
We're gonna
not,
look into,
not fence hedges, but decorative
yeah,
hedges.
we're gonna look into getting rid of the ficus hedges and getting
Replant.
something that's
You know,
more resistant to insects and disease. And
What a lot of people have been using, especially over in Palm Beach, is like what you have, those podocarpus. They're dark green
Yeah.
and they make great hedges.
Right, right.
And the other one is, it's called Calusia.
yeah,
And it's like a succulent, so it's
Yeah.
very, very good with,
Big leaf, right?
it's got big leaves.
Yeah.
It almost looks like cactus-like. They're like
Oh,
Yeah.
big
yeah,
waxy
oh my
leaves.
God, it's
Yeah.
They're
beautiful.
very,
They
very,
grow very tall.
well, they can be small too,
Yeah,
you know.
they
just
can
Yeah,
depends.
they, when you maintain them where you want them.
But they make great, you know, hedge
yeah,
materials.
and those are very,
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Resilient.
we've been working on that. These are trees, for example, that we can replace the trees with. I just didn't have time to type it up for you all, sorry.
That's
Cover the
okay.
hedges on Palm Beach to
But-
that they make the animals out of.
also, you know,
Yeah,
those are like,
getting rid of all the
Like jazz.
ficus hedges will help, and it'll help with the drain
Mm-hmm.
issues too, because ficus hedges grow just like the trees do. The roots
Yeah.
grow under.
Well, the roots grow under soaking water. They
Yeah.
grow under
But-
concrete.
Ficus trees also draw the white fly to them.
Right.
Right.
They're not as bad as the hedges because it keeps them up high.
Right.
But if you notice ficus hedge or ficus tree leaves falling off green, it's because of the white fly.
Right.
You see the little
Yeah.
eaten out there.
So
Yeah.
it's, you know, it's still going to be somewhat of an issue, but if we work over the next 20 years at getting all these ficus out of here,
Yeah.
we'll be in good shape. And then I'd be ready to retire.
Okay, can I ask question
Okay.
to report, right? Question about finally will they do something with monuments because they still did not remove that hedges would cover lights too low. Somebody who installed lights is too low, and it's you cannot read the name of the community.
It's still, I've
3
done actually
years we're
drive-
talking about,
Well,
and
they did go
still
through and move some hedges.
it's covered covered the light, and they need a little shorter to cut shorter because you cannot read it when you drive now.
I was gonna
You can
ride through
see
there
what
tonight
happened.
on the way home, just so I could
That-
see
yeah,
that.
you
light.
see
it's
it.
so embarrassing because people talk about that. In
Okay.
another, what we can do with that signs, we still have signs. No, don't laugh. Listen,
Well,
$2,500. It's listen.
We have a bunch of
Just if you think that it's
unused
nothing.
signs.
Put them on eBay.
no, well,
What we will do
let me
is that.
finish real
Right.
quick and I'll talk about
Okay.
the signs.
Okay.
Landscaping,
Sign everywhere.
we are actively looking at other landscape contractors.
Okay.
Um,
You and I haven't talked about that.
Larry found a guy. I'm gonna set up and meet him next week. I'm gonna get a few more bids.
Well, the guy actually found me.
Yeah.
Did he call
I
you?
know who that is. I know who
And-
that
Call
is.
you,
and-
Rich from Brightview?
Yeah,
He
And-
yeah.
called me too.
and-
He
we'll-
wrote me a letter,
We'll
mailed
talk-
me a letter.
You know, we'll talk to a cut above, but
Well, we have to
I-
give them a stern warning.
Well, I've had talks with them and I've pulled once they did their last plantings, I pulled all the other work orders from them.
Well,
And
you
said
see,
they're
I've
not-
said from day one, even before you
Yeah.
came, back to Joyce, I said, to me, a cut above has just enough staff and just enough equipment to just do our week-to-week landscape
But
maintenance.
that's not true.
Now, wait, now let me finish. We got rid of him for irrigation because he was not doing a good job, okay? And he didn't really have the staff or the expertise. He calls himself a irrigation company. Now we have Image, and the difference is phenomenal. And the same with never. In the 29 years I've lived here, the 10 years I've served on the board, have we ever used the landscape company for any major hedge project or tree replacement project?
It's-
We've
And I-
always
and I
gone
agree
out.
with that.
And
That's-
We've always
Well,
gone out for experts.
One of the things about a cut above is they do have a separate division. They have their own nursery. They have their own, a whole separate staff for doing plantings. I'm not defending them. Their quality of their product sucks.
Yeah, I was
Right.
about to say, is there a nursery full of dead trees?
Yeah, and I was gonna say,
Their
and the-
quality of what they, of what I've seen them provide for you, because
terrible.
very little
Mediocre.
have we put in since I've been here except sod.
No, but the
I would
trees
have
they
never
planted
approved of the
with.
garbage that they planted.
Oh, I agree.
All of the little, just like in front of me, you've got the two, what are they, like backflows or whatever the heck they
Yeah.
are. They put in the, like the small sea grapes,
Yeah.
whatever they're called. Not one of those plants looks good. They've been in there for at least a year. I'd like to know, do they guarantee their plants? I mean, even
Yeah.
Home Depot guarantees their plants. And they need to come back in and they need, before we let them go, they need to make this stuff right.
Well, Dee Dee was on them about that before she left.
Yeah.
They,
And they said that they would guarantee everything that they put in.
Yeah,
But they
but-
did,
but-
but we have to
But
make them do it.
nobody followed up on it
Right, so
either.
we
And there's-
need to make them do it. Also, moving forward, the whitefly, they burrow into the ground and they eat the plants they go into the roots of the plants and then they eat the plants, the trees, and then that warps all the leaves and that's how they die.
Yeah.
But a lot of times those whitefly are in the ground. So even, maybe the ground needs to be treated if we're gonna be replacing it with anything. I'm not sure, but at least, the very least, they need to enrich the dirt
Yeah.
there. I mean, I've got a black thumb and even I know that.
But they don't affect another kind of,
Well, they're not supposed to, but,
yeah,
but.
it's not, we
right.
don't need it, it's
Yeah,
extra
and
expensive.
if they don't
We
have the
need-
food, they move on.
Right.
Yeah, yes.
But as I said, at the very least, though, we
Yeah,
need to,
we
you know,
need to-
it's all sand there.
I know.
And the plants aren't gonna grow if you just
And
plant
that's
them
where we
sand.
need to work with our landscapers on proper fertilization and weed control.
But for example, they proposed $4,000 for whitefly treatment.
Yeah,
Yes.
Give me a bloody
no,
break.
no.
You and I, we could all go out with a spray bottle on the weekend and get it all done for.
Well, not just that, but I'd rather
7
spend
cans.
$4,000 on getting rid of the ficus to begin with. Why are we keeping them?
No, no, I mean, we need to get rid of those problem trees, replant Florida-approved
There's trees
trees.
that they put in, like one across from my place, it's as sickly looking as
Oh,
the day
how about the
they put it in 2 years
250,
I
ago.
know.
the
Yeah. There's no-
251st?
and-
They're pathetic.
There's
They were-
a lot of them were put in 2017. and
Yeah, they're
not-
pathetic.
They're not gonna do anything about them. And the
Yeah.
palm tree that Joe complains about, which looks nice, but they said it was a 25 gallon or 30
Yeah,
gallon.
yeah, right.
Yeah, and it's only 6 feet tall now. It's been there over a year.
Yeah.
There's ones out there
You
that
know,
are just as
they should-
sickly looking as the
and
day
those-
they put them in.
those
They
are
haven't
those,
changed a bit.
No.
nothing.
How
They're
it's
just- they
happened,
haven't
how
grown,
it's
they
happened,
haven't-
we talk about
they're
that,
terrible.
that we should right away force them to remove it and replace.
That's
But
what we
everybody
need to-
was okay with that, because
I
we
wasn't,
talked,
I-
Mary Lou was talking, I was talking, it's like, it's, we still have this
But we're-
ugly trees.
From going from here on forward, we're gonna
Yeah,
all be more involved. Mary Lou and I
That's
are
going
gonna
back when Joyce
work.
was here.
right.
Yeah, if you want to be involved with, any of the landscaping thing, any suggestions you have,
I've had a problem
We want-
with the divider hedge at the end of my street, 56th in Saratoga. It's like a divider hedge.
Right, that's the ones, we call them decorative hedges, that's one of them, yeah.
You call them what you want.
Well, no, that's what they're officially called.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm
The
telling you,
dictionary out
I'm
and check
telling
it.
you.
when they planted them, they were new, right?
Yeah.
They were ficus, and they replaced them with whatever you call them. And so it's a corner, it's a 90-degree
Yeah.
thing. So, but the corner, they left a space, like they didn't plant anything in that corner. Or there was like one and not two, like they left a space, in other words,
Yeah.
right? And then the one that was there died quickly, and I kept saying, I go, can't we get somebody to put a new plant in? I would ask cut above, they'd be out here in the street. I said, hey, dude, I get them out of here. No, I can't do it that way. I
You
can't.
gotta go into a work
So I'm
order.
like, okay, well, who do I got to talk to?
Yeah.
And then, so they ended up putting something there, like one. They still left a space, and that thing lasted about 2 weeks,
Yeah.
dead. So, and people walk through it because they see a little
Yeah.
opening, so they trample through it. And yet that whole little corner, like now, if I just looked at it today, looking at it, like some of it is flourishing, healthy, like growing, and then the other part is all crap. And then that corner, which bugs the crap out of me for as long as it's been there, is still open. And it's like, can't we just get them to like plant some stuff there?
Yes,
Does
we
it
think
have
that's-
warranty if it's dying? Why it's why
we-
would they don't replace for free?
Well, we have to be on it more, when it gets reported that this is dying, or I see it's dying, I have to be on that and say, we just planted
Did
these
somebody
3 months
report
ago.
it? Did you report it?
20 times.
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God!
but-
But he
but-
reported
to
it.
D-
But
to
before I
D-
was here, okay?
To deep.
All I can do is
DD,
what I,
it's terrible.
from here on,
Right.
okay?
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of things on your plate since you got on
So
board
we're,
too, so
we're
Yeah, but-
working forward,
one
we're,
thing at a time.
we're
But what
trying
about
to address
signs?
that.
Okay,
Well,
where we put the signs?
What I
We
would
already
suggest
talked
is
about it.
that you and I come up with a couple of hedge replacement companies, I know a few already that
Okay.
specialize in hedge replacement. And then we can analyze the community, see how many of these decorative hedges, there are two on 51st, the one that divides 50 and 51st.
Oh, you mean the divider hedge?
I said the one that divides.
Oh,
but
the
they're
divider
called-
hedge.
They're called decorative because they're pretty. They're supposed to add something to the prettiness.
Guys,
of
don't
the-
wasting time about
Okay.
all these
Okay,
things.
but,
Right.
and then the one facing the lake covering,
Yeah, you and I will meet and
we'll
we'll
meet
discuss this.
and we'll discuss it, get a
Right.
couple of bids
Yeah.
for
And
the
I've
hedge
also asked
replacement.
David to get bids from nurseries and for you and he to get together and decide what kind of trees that we need to get bids on.
Yeah, no, I already have made a very comprehensive list, I just didn't have time to type it. This is Florida approved and certain ones, I'll give you three quick, certain ones that, okay, there's a gumbo limbo, for
Oh, those are
example.
beautiful.
Okay, that's a beautiful tree. Now, you wouldn't want to put that like right close to a mansard, but on the open places where we could have lakeside or something, where we need a couple of trees or a big, beautiful tree. Now, the gumbo limbo, it roots directly into the ground, unlike the ficus trees, okay?
Wow.
All right, so that's one. Another one is, there's a short leaf fig, which is a broad spreading limbs, easily grown, full or partial sun. So that's a smaller tree, but one we could consider.
But we don't need small trees.
Here and there we do
We-
because
we
they
need large
cannot
trees.
touch, they cannot touch
We
the
need-
mansards.
But we don't put close to mansard.
No, darling,
We
I
don't
have,
put close
there's
to
a tree
mansard.
being cut down right on my corner
No, it's
that's
not
literally
everywhere.
50 feet from the mansard of my neighbor. You can't plant another tree there that will reach the scope of a ficus and be touching the mansard and the berries dropping on the flat roof. You
And
have
the
to-
parking lots.
And the parking lots. You have to consider, where.
Consider where, but
Yeah.
most places it's not.
Well,
that-
but you
Yeah,
do
okay.
put a lot of trees near the parking areas for
Yeah, yeah.
shade, so
Right.
they
we,
can't
we
be.
need shade.
But anyway, there's another one called a wild tamarind, which is recommended, a large tree, but it can be messy. So now again, we wouldn't want to plant it on a sidewalk. So I've really done some research, and I'm going to try very hard this coming
Can you
week.
send us so we can?
No,
look at
this is
pictures?
handwritten research I
Yeah,
did.
but okay,
Hold on.
okay.
No, no.
I've got some
Scan
information from the University of Florida.
Well, that's
I
partially
live,
what
I
this is.
live right by the
Yeah.
botanical gardens over there.
Yeah.
Where they have.
We
the-
can look at these trees.
Yeah,
We
I-
can look
I'll
at
send you all an email
I've got lists
with,
of
I'll
the
pick
trees.
5 of these
They help
maybe
us.
that I found.
Ladies,
Yeah,
landscaping, we can discuss later.
yeah,
If you want to
okay,
meet
all right.
with me, and
yeah, very
Yeah.
good.
last thing I want to say is.
Yeah, go ahead, David.
And we're going to talk about this. concrete repair is a must
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
I have been going through and looking at this stuff, and I told Larry that we talked about it not 2 weeks ago, and now somebody has fallen, tripping over bad concrete again.
When did this happen?
2 days ago.
It's Joe's daughter.
Joe who? Joe Costello's daughter?
Yeah.
They were out looking for her cat because they had lost her cat, and she tripped over some bad concrete.
When was this, at night or something?
It was
I'm not
at night.
sure, but it was. It
And-
doesn't matter.
They have to take her to the hospital, and then she's in doctor's care right now. But
And will he sue us? What?
We're hoping not, but you never know. It depends on.
Yeah.
It's
Depends on her injuries and pain and
Right.
suffering.
you know,
But here's the situation, and I've talked to Michelle about this, and of course David knows where I'm coming from. These concrete parking lots are nice. I'm not going to argue that. But we could put a blacktop, not necessarily blacktop, but a blend of, they mix glass and stuff with it now, that would be very durable, skid resistant, and at a fraction of the cost of what it's going to take for concrete. And I'm not saying we would have to do every way. I mean, where I live, the concrete's perfect. But anywhere the garbage trucks go in, the concrete's all broken up. It's going to cost us a small fortune. We don't have the money for that unless Michelle can wave a magic wand. And you could have a company come in here, and that's why I told David, get the total number of square foot and then find out how much they charge per square foot. It might only be a half a dozen parking lots that need to get it done. But where Natalia lives, there's a lip from where she parks her car to the concrete,
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, well,
We're asking
I have
for
one in front of
lawsuits.
But do you know
that.
what happened? It happened on our eyes when they put this little stones along the lake.
Yeah.
This is car was full with this kind of stones. When this car entered the parking, our parking, when there's all this concrete went down in front, our eyes and my
You
neighbors.
mean when they were delivering the stones?
When
for
they deliver the
trails?
stones, when they come in, like that.
Yeah.
You know, you can see right now that because of heavy truck.
Yeah, but that has to be repaired. I mean, that's somebody.
Yeah, but
somebody's
it
gonna
happened
go down.
a long time ago.
You know, there
yeah.
was a thing in the paper the other day about
2016.
another company that comes in and lifts concrete. They do something, they put something underneath the concrete for
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
that thing.
Well, they
To make
probably
it-
drill holes in it and shoot styrofoam under it.
Or they
It's-
do
that
something.
is-
We have to be
that's
careful
exactly
because
what
of
they
all
do.
our water lines. That might be a
Right,
problem.
that's the problem.
Yeah. The other thing is, I would just jump in one quick thing. I would not want to see part of the community with a black or gray blacktop and the next street over regular
Can we
concrete.
paint it on
There
top
have
of
no
that?
way.
We
There
can
has,
paint it
but
on
that
top.
would cost as much as replacing the concrete.
Well, I mean, we talked before,
You
you
let
know,
them
we
paint
had
on these
identified,
places.
did we
The
not
worst-
already
agreed with the worst
identify
areas.
all of the worst areas? Are we not going to just,
That's what I thought we agreed to a month ago.
yeah, that's what I thought we had all decided, because there isn't, I mean, even blacktopping the ways would be a lot.
Yes, yes.
A lot more than we have.
But we can paint the little pieces when we make it. Okay, can we?
Well, I noticed that in the past, they've patched with blacktop in here, and it looks horrible.
Yeah, yeah. we
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
have black-
but can we
I've never
paint on
seen
top?
it.
Go to
Really?
62nd Way.
They did a couple of really
Oh,
bad.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I never saw
No,
that.
I mean, we have to have, the whole point of our community is uniformity.
Right, and we have to have a very comprehensive understanding of what's going on and how much all this is gonna cost before we start.
I
it.
Well,
agree
we
with
got-
you.
I don't know how
We
many bids we've
concentrate
got
on the trip and
concrete
falls.
repair already, and they're high. The ones that
Right.
we got last year, just for the areas that need it, it's a lot of money.
But again, you know, I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, so what does it cost? You know, I mean, what would it cost to have all the concrete fixed?
Okay.
We know what it would cost to have the problem ways fixed. Right, we'd already had all those numbers.
For, if what now?
We already figured out what it was going to cost. I don't have it, you know, in my
Yeah.
documents, but we had worked to find out exactly what were the worst
Yeah, I
areas?
have-
and
I
what
have
was it
the
gonna
bids.
cost to have them? And I thought that as a board, we had decided that that's what we were going to pursue. We were gonna fix the worst
The
problems.
one that I think that, the one that's coming to my mind was like $500,000.
Yeah, well, it wasn't cheap.
But for example, right now, we have 45,000 in paving and
Right,
resurfacing,
which
we
right.
could use to concentrate on the
On some
trip
of
and
those
fall.
problem areas. Well, we did about $51,000 worth of concrete
Right,
repair.
over-
So here's another
56.
45.
Exactly, so this would be like the next.
We cannot
phase.
afford to do the entire
But,
community. You're talking
oh,
Can I
probably
say
$1 million.
very
yeah,
important
or
something?
more.
Can we right now, for emergency,
Huh?
put some orange
Oh,
around
yeah.
where this flipping fall so they can see that, because now we have a lot of light in that orange line. It means it puts signs
Well, it might be
it's
helpful.
dangerous
Sure.
in this way, so it won't be after
actually
people start
been done
source.
already.
It's all.
Some of
Put
that
something on that it's dangerous, so we don't have that. Because who need money that anybody can that trip and fall and after okay, so
Well, we've already, I'll say, if Joe files a claim, we've already lost the opportunity to lower our liability.
Well,
That's already like out the window. We had to go till September.
But if she has medical insurance, why would
Well,
he
he
sue
said
us?
all she has is what her deceased husband left her, and it's not very good coverage.
Well, that's not our fault.
Well, but the concrete
unfortunately,
is.
but it's unfortunate, it's our liability, unfortunately.
Isn't it amazing though,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
who it is that's
Yeah.
doing it for the third time since 2016? Sorry,
Well-
he's not here, I'd say it to his face if he were.
Well, okay, but besides that,
Thank you.
we have to address it. And I've already been in touch with Rawson, and he said, and I told Joe, I notified the attorney,
So he's looking for.
but let's see what the damages are.
He needs to do an incident report too and
Right.
get it to us so that we have a record of,
Right.
And we need a copy of all her medical,
that's-
her bills and her
Yeah,
treatment
that'll-
and her x-rays.
the
and
first
blah,
thing we
blah, blah.
gotta do is an incident report.
Yeah, we don't want to pay for old injuries.
No, that's why you see the current,
That's why
get a
this
copy of the
ridiculous.
current
Medical
x-rays.
I don't think they should be able to sue if they don't do
I don't either.
an incident report
I don't
Exactly.
either.
when it happens.
I agree.
This guy that we're getting sued by that
Yeah.
we didn't hear
Yeah,
about
but-
for 6 months.
Yeah, well, he was denied the first time around, that guy.
Right.
So
But he's going
maybe
around
he
it.
doesn't have another leg to
It's 2
stand
years
on.
later that
Yeah.
he's trying again.
Right, so I wouldn't think he has a leg to stand on, but.
Oh, sorry.
The good news about that was it didn't matter because it wasn't a new case, because he
Right.
did it, so our rates would have gone down about $40,000 if Joe's daughter hadn't,
Well, nothing's been reported
Right,
yet,
so
so
we'll
maybe
see.
we
Okay,
just
we'll
need to
see.
pay the hospital.
So I mean, I don't understand you tripping for like what happened to her.
But if you don't have report like
I wasn't there, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm only
Mr.
going on
Rocker.
what he told me.
Mr. Rocco, like if David says he have no report, why we even
Well, because it
it
But
must
just
be
pay
report.
You said,
they
didn't
need,
you
Yeah.
say?
they need to
2
do an
days.
incident report and get it to
Accident
the,
report to
the
be
board,
paid.
so we have it.
Yes.
Well, Joe should know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Vice President of the
All
Board
right,
of Directors.
but
He should
like
know
David was saying, concrete, we need to get serious about it. Michelle had a good idea as
Yeah.
far as
Can we mark it
the
right now?
board needs to have a workshop.
Yes.
But don't,
And-
I want to say one other thing David doesn't know, and you may have, some of you, forgotten. At least a year and a half ago, before we started marking the 18 trees, we did have trip and fall concrete marked, right? My
Yeah,
same one
absolutely.
was painted with an orange square or a yellow square, I've forgotten,
Yeah, we
until
had some.
until it finally washed off, and it was never repaired at the foot of my parking space.
Right.
So I know
We
we've
go
done
through
this
and do it
before.
again.
Do
and-
that, make sure Edvard gets all these bad concrete areas marked with orange spray.
we'll.
Yeah, just an
we'll-
X like that, like.
Well-
why
Well,
can't
even
we
do
no,
do-
no,
the
line,
lip
should
with
be line.
do the lip with like a day glow, a bright
Yeah.
yellow or something,
Yeah.
so that when
Yeah.
somebody's walking, they
Yeah.
can see.
Yeah.
At least for our own protection, we can say we're taking steps.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah,
We're
I've
gonna
been
have to
stepping
start
over
showing
mine
that
for
we're doing
10 years,
repairs, too.
probably.
We can't just mark it and then
Well,
not
no,
do anything.
but we did $51,000 worth last year.
And-
you know, so
and-
we're continuing to do
And
it.
those
but-
areas we didn't complete
Yeah.
last year need to be marked for this year and done this year. Hello. I'm giving
Can I
this
just interject
to,
a little thing on what you're saying about those markings?
yes,
I have 49 years in the construction business.
yes, that's right.
it will help as far as seeing that concrete. It does not protect you.
No.
Law is 2 foot, all high, all the way around the problem area. That might save you.
Might do what?
Put orange line, right?
No.
No, it's gotta
It's gotta
be
be 2 feet
2
high.
feet high,
A box,
some
like
kind of fence, anything,
boxed in,
orange
so
or
to
a bright
speak.
color.
Boxed
Is
in.
the only thing that's gonna protect you.
Oh,
Putting a line on the crack itself,
doesn't do anything.
yeah, all
Doesn't
right, maybe this guy saw it, but the next guy didn't. It's
Yeah.
not gonna protect
Uh-huh.
you.
But let doing at least these things.
Right.
Where we
Yeah.
can take it.
Well,
we
by
can let them.
doing it, you also know where the repairs are gonna be made,
Right,
and you
right.
hope that
Exactly.
most
David,
people see
I'm
it.
not saying do it, I'm just
Oh,
saying.
no,
do you-
I know. I mean,
have an idea which ones are the worst? We need to get the worst ones done.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go around next week and,
And
And
don't
take
worry about
pictures,
mine.
take
It's not the
pictures,
I'll,
and send them to the board members,
okay.
and with the address.
So we can go look at them,
Right.
right.
speaking of pictures, tonight I noticed that the FP&L trucks or whatever the company is that's working with FP&L, they ripped up all the side. They just put some side down, then they
They
ripped up
drove-
all the side. It looks like they drove over the.
They
the
drove right up by
yeah,
you.
yeah,
They
yeah.
drove right up onto the
Yeah,
berm
that,
right in front of you.
right in front of the townhouses.
So
yeah,
and
On our land or on the county?
on our
No,
land, on our, right up.
So if they broke our sprinkler heads or water
Right.
lines.
Well, I mean, they tore. I mean, I took pictures of it. They tore up the concrete. They tore up the side, and there's like these big ruts running up. Probably about.
Can we do
30,
something
40
with
feet.
that? Can we do something?
Well, I mean, they damaged our pipes the last time, didn't they? Cause that big.
FP&L
Yeah.
damaged the irrigation.
Right.
That's right.
We've got a
A suit, we have a,
claim in for
Claim
them
in,
to
okay.
try and get
Right.
reimbursed
Well,
for that.
these aren't. These
Did
are.
they reimburse it?
Not yet.
oh yeah,
Right.
Christmas is coming too.
Oh yeah, they're
No,
gonna
but
fight
we
you.
need to
No,
start
that's
do
sarcastic.
something to able to.
Is that in
Yeah.
front of your house? I think that's.
Michelle, I'm gonna give this to you only
no.
because,
No,
but
no,
don't
it's not.
destroy
I
it.
can send the
This
waiver.
is
No, I'll,
It's
2005.
It's 64th of 63rd.
the roofing, this was,
Oh, okay.
this is very
this is
interesting.
57th one.
This was
Or
the
50th.
special assessment. Joni McCann was treasurer, the late Joni.
Okay.
This was the special assessment breakdown, but what it'll do for you is show you exactly what each phase of the roof, roof replacement on page 2 or 3, you will see
this is
the,
from. Oh, okay.
yeah, it's a special assessment, but in order to be assessed, there had to be a breakdown. And it
This
happens
was
to
just after a hurricane, wasn't it?
Yeah, this is when the flat roofs were all done,
Okay.
2005, and they were done by, I brought that whole, I had the whole I had the contract. Did I give it to
Yeah.
you? I have, it's this, look at, the
I mean, no,
contract's
just
this big.
FYI, when this
But this
happened-
is only interesting as treasurer for you to take
Yeah,
a look
oh,
at
no,
it.
I will. I can make a copy and you can get it back to you. But
Yeah.
what's interesting is that when that happened, because
Right.
it was due to a hurricane,
Right.
if you have homeowners insurance,
That's
you
in
can,
there.
You can
It's in
get
there.
you can get, I think at the time it was $2,000. I got $2,000
yep,
back
yep.
because it was a special assessment for
Yep,
something that was
I got it too. My name's on the
Yeah.
front page.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
now
No,
it's only 1,000, unfortunately.
no, but
They
the,
didn't-
but I just thought you
But-
as the
but
treasurer
no, that's good to
would
know.
find
Yeah,
it
we'll do that.
interesting
Thank you.
because it breaks out a lot, and we're about to do
It's
roof talk
monuments,
roofs, so.
something.
I know.
Monuments.
You
Well, I
know.
hope we don't have to do a special
Can you send
assessment.
me-
but-
No, I
Yeah.
think if
Yeah.
we,
Just to
if we
put
maintain them
in there,
the way
put
we
on
should,
pages,
annually at the
and
least,
still, you know, you
then
cannot see
we're
the
covered by
name.
insurance,
Yeah, I'm gonna-
and they should hold
People-
up. They're only 13 years old.
There's a couple final things on here that we all need to start thinking about, and that's cleaning the mansards,
Right.
the balconies, and painting the railings.
I don't believe it's our responsibility to power wash the balconies. I believe it's only our responsibility to paint them, the railings.
Right.
Railings.
They'll need to be cleaned before you paint them.
Right.
Well, the thing is,
If they're gonna be there to do the mansards anyway.
Right.
It
Yeah.
might as well, and actually, if they're gonna clean the mansards, all that crap's gonna come down on the
Exactly.
balconies.
but
so
you
they
do
might-
have to let the homeowners know because they could have planters on the balconies like I do, and or chairs like some people do, and also their windows will be filthy dirty when the balconies are concrete's power washed. It'll splatter on the windows. So we have to consider the homeowner.
So they can't just clean,
Yeah.
hose that down as they leave. They
Right,
should,
right. So we have to take that into consideration.
So have we had gotten bids on that, right? Didn't we already
We
get
had,
bids on
well,
that?
the balcony railings, we swore we would do this year
Yeah,
because we
yeah,
didn't
well,
do
the
them.
same with we still have to do the mansards this year
Right.
too, so.
Yeah.
But didn't we already have bids on that, Dave?
I don't think.
I did.
I thought we did.
No.
I would have to go back and look. I thought we had something.
Well, I
Painting the railings, didn't we have?
Okay,
Stuff to
I thought I
see.
saw something.
I thought we had painting the balcony railings.
We went, both.
Yeah.
We didn't get bids on the railings, but I thought we got bids on.
Aren't those railings powder coated?
They're, no, well, they're, it's a bronze, it's called
Yes,
bronze
we
paint,
have-
it's
yeah,
not
it's
black.
bronze.
They were originally powder coated,
Yeah.
but now they've been painted since then,
No, okay.
because they faded.
'Cause
The
So-
contract, which I have and I'll bring to
Painted
you,
my own a
I'll give
couple
it to you.
Me too.
The contract
desperate
when
need of it
all
again.
the
I've got pink.
houses were painted, the brick
Ironclad.
walls were, concrete walls were
Ironclad
painted, the
with
balcony railings
metal
were
paint.
painted, et
That's what
cetera.
mine is.
I have
Mine
that
got from
contract,
Sherwin Williams
and it
and
will
Flint.
give you
Oh,
the
really?
name of the
Ironclad.
paint company, the paint, the color, everything is
Okay.
in that. I'll bring that to you. I
Okay.
may have it in my car now, I'll look when we leave. But that's the original
All
contract.
right, David, answer Natalia's question on the signs.
We first
On
make
the,
a,
the sign.
Just
Well,
let him finish.
The unused signs
Okay.
in the shed.
You signed because DT.
Well, I did a count. We've got, I didn't bring a count with me. 11,
Well, we have one alligator
one
sign,
alligator,
two
two.
private property signs.
Excuse me, could we
And-
just let
and-
John ask his quick question and then we can resume this conversation because he has to go. The other lady left before she got to ask her question.
Go ahead.
Almost every question I had, eavesdropping when I first come in, is about the fences. They power washed my fence twice. They did it 3.5 weeks ago. They came back, we'll be done by Friday, which was 2 weeks ago. They haven't been back since.
but they
The
power
lady
washed
next
it
door, they
twice.
power washed 3 times. Dominic's sister that's here,
Right.
got power washed 2 or 3 times.
Not on the inside.
They,
Yeah.
I won't let them inside my patio.
No, I
Say
won't.
Not what they did on the outside.
Dominic's sister, not on the inside, because I was there the day after they did it, but go ahead.
But they power washed mine, and it seemed that every piece of dirt that is underneath that hedge was on my furniture, was all over the glass, all over the side. It took me 3.5 hours to clean. I had to strip everything down, and I have a canopy there, take it down, because that was saturated with dirt.
Now, had you let them in, they would have cleaned that all up. They do the outside first, then they come in the inside and clean up everything that was sprayed from the outside out.
Yeah, but it should have been protected in the first place. That or I'd have to move all the furniture all the way out in the grass until they're done.
Yeah, see, furniture's a
Well,
problem.
It's also.
first of all, we have the right to come in to do repairs to the fence
Correct.
and to clean it. Whether you want it painted or not, that's up to you. We don't
Correct.
care. But you say you won't let them in, but we have the right, according to our attorney, to come in and repair fences.
Just repair though,
Just
Right.
repair.
not
Right.
power wash, just repair.
Well, but
No,
I'm
power
saying,
wash
we're
first
gonna,
and
we're
It's
gonna
not in our
Here's
documents.
the power wash.
We're gonna power wash the outside. When you power wash
I
the
understand.
outside, you're gonna have dirt on the inside. So if you want
Well, I
it cleaned
didn't-
up, they gotta
I
come
didn't-
in to do it.
When you did mine, my patio wasn't any dirtier.
Yeah,
Mine,
the houses around me had no
Well, it
problem.
was cleaner than it was when it's.
yeah,
started, I can
yeah,
tell you
exactly,
that.
yeah, because I didn't have Paul Toscano power wash it prior to you doing the
No, I
fence.
said it's also some little bit of a technique too. If you're going straight down and you're going all the way down to the bottom and it happens to be a dirt bed, a lot of dirt, there could be
Yeah,
mulch, it
sand
could
or-
be
yeah,
there could
yeah.
be stuff that
Right.
prevents. But if it's a lot of dirt, like today, I did one today that all it was dirt. So man, it makes a bloody mess. But I can prevent a lot of it by. And you don't go all the way down to the bottom and right straight into the dirt, because that's when it flies up in your face, it flies up on it, goes everywhere. If you start at the bottom and go horizontally, you can prevent that. But
Yeah. Well,
but the thing is, I do.
forget that, that's all here and
But you
gone.
gotta-
The main
you gotta
thing
let
are,
them
when
in.
are they coming back?
You gotta
Yeah,
let
when are
them
they
in.
coming
You gotta
back?
let them in to let them rinse off.
What's your,
rinse off the
tell
patio.
David, your
The
unit number?
63rd way?
What's your house
No, yes.
number?
6307.
07.
They should be finishing up next week and starting on 63rd. If everything, best case scenario. They should be back on 63rd making progress.
Next week.
See, what happened was because,
Oh, no, they've been back.
well, no, you have to
Well,
understand that because we
Don't you
made
have
them.
2 contractors?
We had some
Yes,
issues.
Can we
Yes.
have the first contractor that's down by
They
you
did it
do
once,
ours?
and then
I wish he could because that's Randall
they
and
wanted.
Mark.
I would
owns
use
the
that
business.
contract.
Because they.
Hire as many guys
on
as
the
you
other
can,
one
you're doing a fantastic
for a
job on the whole
month.
project.
That's what I said.
January,
Okay.
then they had to come
I
back and
said
clean
that.
it again before we could.
Randy, John is saying exactly what I said. We should fire Landell and have Mark hire 4 guys
Yeah, exactly.
And
It's-
to do
Well,
the
you can't have
quality
it,
work
you know,
your
there's
guys
a lot
are
of
doing.
contractors. Liquidated damages means.
But
you're
all
gonna
the money
be
we're
done by
paying
November
Landell, we
first.
would pay Mark's men. What's the difference?
Yeah, and
Because Mark can't have them as employees.
He doesn't
6
Oh, not
people.
part-time help?
We can look at next.
Guys, 6 people work when I collected
They-
signature. They
they
ask
go back.
about
Depends on the inside.
They had to go
Mark
back
to do
and
their
do-
fences. Can we order so Mark and Randall do
I
our
know.
fences?
They-
Yeah.
That's what John is saying right now.
It's a-
I'm
it's-
gonna tell you flat out, we could be sued
I gotta get-
because we have a board member working for the other
The
company.
top rate.
No, I already checked that
No,
out.
no,
Well,
it's
so did
not.
I.
I went to
No, no,
an
no.
HOA attorney.
Oh, well,
Mine,
He
that's
told
that's
me
who I
that
have
is-
to deal with as
Well,
well.
Well, no, here's what happened. He
depends
told
on-
me
a lot of
that as
people
long
out
as
there.
Randall was not working
Where that
for him,
2x4 is
when we
continuous right through.
approved the contracts, and he didn't start
Over
with him
here.
for 3 weeks
But
or
Randall
He's
is
not
going
owner
to
of
be
the
inspecting.
How are they
3 months.
replacing that
So
top
he
rail?
said he
Randall
can
is
work
going to
on
be
it.
inspecting, so it could be a problem. I don't think Landell would do it.
Unless you.
Well-
I'm just telling you, it could be a
Roof
He
problem.
wouldn't have a lot of leg to stand on because
No.
he hasn't done a great job.
Well,
yeah.
Whether Randall is there or not.
If
I
the
mean,
roof is gone, then.
I understand all that, but now that
That
we've
was
told
the
him
other
what
thing I
we
was trying to
expect,
ask.
we're gonna
Okay,
see
right.
what he
When are
does.
you
Yeah.
Guys, we have meeting. We're
Okay.
recording. Okay?
Okay.
yes.
Because
Let's,
of now it's
All
okay.
right, well, so are you
Finish.
set with your question?
Yeah.
You're okay?
So we took care of it. already.
Okay, so you're gonna figure that one out.
Thank you.
And the other thing I wanted to tell you, there's an opening on the board if you're interested in becoming a board member. I notice you have opinions about different things that you'd like to get done.
Well, he has a background too that's helpful.
Yeah.
can you type?
Yeah, we need somebody to
On the computer, yes, but I can't print it out.
Forward it,
Okay, okay.
email it, someone will print it
Go
out.
back to the meeting, guys.
I'm gonna have to think about that.
Think about it.
Think about it.
You're
What
invited.
I was on once upon a time.
I know you
Yeah,
were,
but
I
we're a lot
remember
more
well.
fun.
I
Mary
remember.
Lou, let me go to the
We
agenda.
go,
We're a lot
we go
more
drinking afterwards.
I never have, gee whiz.
Guys, can we go back to agenda, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
John. Okay, take care. Young lady, you're.
We have
I
11,
think
we
she
still
should be on the
discussing.
board right
I
there.
think
There's our
so,
next
too.
secretary
Yeah,
right there.
I think so too. But she has a tough time because you have stuff that goes on most Thursday nights.
Yes.
She has-
Okay, okay.
School.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what about signs? Let's go back to it.
All right, quickly.
Okay.
We have one alligator sign, we have 2 private property signs, and we have, and I don't know what Dee Dee was thinking, 11 no parking signs. Now, I know why she bought that many, because she wanted to put them everywhere until everybody was complaining about we had too many signs.
That's
She
right.
did not even count, she just saw, plus 1 alligator missing.
Yeah. on
One
my-
missing.
yeah. Where
Yes.
the gator was buried, which I think is.
One is in storage, one is missing, and poles is missing, because I have the list I sent to Mary Lou, and I think somebody.
Well, the one alligator sign, didn't you take one and put it where they buried the alligator?
Yeah,
No,
we
no,
buried the alligator where the sign was, and someone stole the sign.
Oh,
Someone stole
They held the
the.
And,
stole the whole sign.
What we
The-
can do,
the
because
staking
it's
off.
expensive sign, in eBay
Oh.
you cannot
So
sell
it's not
so
missing,
expensive.
it was actually
Someone,
stolen.
I didn't, I mean, the whole thing's
was-
gone.
it was
so
there and
somebody
now it's
took it.
gone.
Yes.
Okay.
Somebody maybe throw away because
The
I don't
spirit
know
of the
some
gator.
people. Yeah, and what we can do, eBay, we cannot sell it, and now maybe. Tim,
Natalia,
you
look
will
at
call
it this
somebody
way,
else.
we bought them at yesterday's price, we'll have them when we need them again.
When we will need them.
They sign Spain.
$167 each sign. Where we need them? Why we spend so much
Put them on
money?
eBay.
It is, let me,
Those signs
expensive.
were $167.
I will send you the
She-
price.
she-
Some
she-
120, some
she did the whole
167.
price, you'd be shocked how much.
Because
Was that each?
each
Yes.
sign
Yeah.
without even pole.
Without the poles, some of them were very
Because
expensive.
of why I was so upset about that? Because you can buy on Amazon the same sign.
It's on the bills.
$11.
You can
Yeah,
pull the
I
bills
told, send me some copies of those bills.
back when
I-
Maybe we'll sell them to Dee Dee where she's managing that
Exactly.
new property.
Oh, exactly.
we can have a yard sale, which we're not.
Well, I want to make a
We need a
motion.
sign for that.
Yeah.
I want to make a motion that we get 3 quotes for the power washing of the mansards and the painting of the railings, and we move forward with that.
Both
At
projects.
the next meeting. You know,
Yeah.
that shouldn't be a major
I second.
thing.
Yeah, and I
second.
told David, I
Mary
want
Lou
3
second.
All
quotes.
those in
Mary Lou
favor,
second, everybody in favor?
All in
All
favor.
In favor,
All
aye.
in favor.
going out for bids for painting railings and cleaning mansards.
Yeah.
Okay, unanimous.
This includes pressure washing the balcony.
I
Well,
was,
they're gonna have to pressure wash the balcony if they make that mess. If all it's,
Right.
they're gonna at least have to clean up the mess that they
Pressure
make,
wash
aren't
it,
they?
but rinse it.
Right,
yeah.
well, right, but I mean, they're gonna have to,
See, if you
Well,
prep,
most
let
of the
me,
balconies are gross.
yeah, let me say this to you,
Green
that is
slime
true.
going down those.
When my guy power washes my patio,
Does the balcony?
he does about, he's on a ladder, but he does it like you would, neat and clean. He doesn't make my
Right,
windows
right.
filthy dirty.
Right.
He keeps it very low pressure.
Well, even
and
my
honestly,
mansards, I get my mansards cleaned inside the courtyard.
me too.
Yeah, yeah.
But here's the point. What I do too is I just take a quart of Clorox and a bucket of water.
You're right.
And you can do your own
Right,
balcony concrete,
Right.
but just be sure you don't need.
But most people
Plants.
don't. So
No,
let's,
no.
let's make
I mean
sure
that-
that
yeah.
whatever mess they make is relatively cleaned up.
Well,
Which
so
means
if we're gonna
rinse
get
it.
bids to clean the mansards, it will also include the balcony concrete.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can
And then the
I
painting
ask
of the
question?
And the
railings
painting
is
of
a
the
paint
railings.
company, but that's a paint company, so.
Right.
Not
Can I
for-
ask question? It's exactly about that.
I have a good
Because
income.
I saw that guys
We've used it in the
cleaning
past.
66 way. Maybe they will continue if they maintain our roof. Maybe they will continue to.
You're talking
To
about
power wash our-
company?
No, this company. This guy was here.
Yes.
Campany.
Yeah, and they power washing right now.
Oh, no,
66
she means
way.
John Brennan, the owner.
Yeah.
Talking about the bad power. Well, 3 times they did his fence on the outside.
No, I'm not about fence. I talk
Oh.
about
Talking about the company
Oh,
doing the
Campany,
roof.
sorry, I
company. They was
apologize.
cleaning
I
roof.
apologize.
Yeah.
I thought that
They
will-
don't do, no, they don't do the mansards.
No, they do
just
flat roofs.
They just do the flat roof.
But they did mansard.
Well, they rinse them
66
off.
They rinse them off because they made such a mess.
After they make a mess on the
Ah,
flat
okay,
roof,
okay.
Right.
and it drips down on the mansards, they clean
So
off.
what we want to do is coordinate that so we don't end up getting the mansards all cleaned while they're messing up.
Flat
The
roofs,
roofs, right.
flat roofs cleaned first,
Yeah.
mansards cleaned second,
And
railings painted
painted
third.
next.
Okay, all done by Christmas.
Okay.
And not for nothing, if we ever actually did
No, I just wanted an
pursue
update
and
on the,
succeed
on the amendment that they
lighters on all
forwarded
the,
me.
on all the units.
Can we
Did that?
discuss,
This young lady is here to ask a question too, I believe.
okay, but real quickly, because we do need to talk about this,
Okay,
let's talk about the vote and the amendment, and I had a suggestion.
okay.
Yeah,
All right, that was like the most disheartening thing in the whole world.
yeah.
As many people that, you know, were just very apathetic and didn't respond. The people that did respond, that took 10 times asking them for the same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
You know, so what was the final count? Do we have any
I-
idea? 2.
I didn't.
Well,
I
there's
wasn't
still
able to
some
get-
coming in that
Okay,
we don't have.
okay, we're still coming in. My suggestion is this: if we end up, I mean, I was on the phone, you know, for all day yesterday, a lot of today, to the same people that were all the LLCs.
Okay, well, what-
Nope. Yeah, they're gonna send them. Yeah, they're gonna send them, but I haven't gotten anything yet. My thing is, if this does not pass, what I would suggest is next time we'll send out another notice, and we will say in that notice, and you can ask what's his name, Ross, and if it's legal or not. But I would suggest this, that we send out this thing and say, we're gonna change the amendments. These are the same, these are what this is what the language that we're gonna use, this is what we're gonna change, this is what it's gonna do. And if you disagree, send in this form. And if we don't get your form, you have agreed to it.
Well,
That is what AT&T does, that is what
Yeah.
the bank does, that is what insurance companies do.
Why would you
They
not do
say,
it
you know
anyway?"
what, guess what? We know you're not gonna bother to respond, so if you really are against this, you know, by staying silent, you're telling us you're for it.
Right.
And I don't see why we can't do
Very
that.
wise.
Well, I say the best thing to do is hit them where it hurts, and that's in the pocketbook. Tell them if it doesn't pass, it's going to take a $2,000 special assessment to make up in our
They don't care.
in our
Yeah.
budget
Yeah.
where we're losing money to banks.
No, because of this, we can, this is a good idea. And, yeah.
So
may I ask a question?
I mean, people don't care enough.
No, but have.
Let's see if
But
it costs them money if they
No,
care.
I understand. Dominic asked me something tonight outside, as did the other fellow. I can't think of his name, the nice guy, one that looks like,
Joe Lambert.
he looks like McEnroe, young McEnroe. That's how I remember who he is. But anyway, they both asked me about this amendment, and can we still bring in votes to find out from Rawson, even though we only legally have 90 days, I believe you said, Larry, can we still collect votes and backdate them?
Well, that's what we're
Right, that's what we're doing now.
Oh,
Whenever
we
you
are.
get, bring them in, make sure they say the 17th.
Right now, we're about 38 short,
Well, I
because I gave
have
a couple
one more that I can go after, because he was supposed to do it and
Go
drop
get
it in my gate. Well, he lives in Wellington.
Question.
He was
Can-
gonna take
can
care of it
people
on President's Day
digitally
on Monday,
sign?
but you
Send
guys
it
were
in
closed.
digital.
I'll ask Rawson, I don't know, but
The Dropbox.
Well, he didn't
Can
know.
they digitally sign? They
Sure.
don't put signature,
They can
just send
digitally
it,
sign.
fill
I
form digitally.
I don't know, we'll have to check on that. We
What?
had a
Please.
couple sent in that were typed,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You know.
They sent it, I can prove like the one girl.
yeah.
It came
We
to
have
my
email.
email from her email.
And that's
I'm
what-
sorry, that's good enough.
And
We
that-
have proof, yeah, proof,
It-
the email,
Yeah.
yeah.
in this
Anyone
modern
can
age,
email to
I would
me.
think
I've been
it
saving
is.
the emails.
It's all.
I would think in this modern day, because the way Rawson has told us about, like you're being able to be at a meeting.
Right, right.
Absent, but here by.
Sorry.
I'm here, I can hear everything that's going on. The only difference is I'm not.
Love you, love you.
So if